What's up, Jehu? Adam? Waiting for everybody to wander in here. You know, we'll do our intro. What's up, Mike Hodge? I know you missed me. I know you missed me, Mike Hodge. Waiting for everybody to wander in. I guess I'll send some links out for anybody that wants to join. Let's see. Put a link there in case Ken wants to join. Go to my emails. Send one to Adam in case he wants to join. Maybe if I can find Adam's email. There we go. There. What's up, Bachi? All right. We're almost got enough people in here to do the intro. Almost. We got 5 people in the house. I guess we do the intro now. Welcome everybody to Small Engine Saturday. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this out. Let's make this one of the best Small Engine live streams on YouTube. Guys, it's been a while since I've done a live stream, shot a video, or done any of that. So here we are tonight doing a live stream. I got some videos planned. I need to get back on the groove. I'm going to be out there tomorrow shooting videos. What's up, Ronald? I'm going to be out there tomorrow shooting videos, hopefully. It's going to be raining, so I don't know how it's going to do with my audio, but we're going to give it a good old try. Right, Bachi? It's been a while. And, yeah. I still need a little bit of cleanup in my shop since I moved to... Since I took a majority of my tools to work, I left my shop home shop kind of a mess. I need to get it cleaned up. I've been doing some work at home, doing power sports, ATVs and side-by-sides at home from time to time. I probably won't do it this spring when the springtime rush hits and we're so busy that I'll just be too wore out. But right now, where it's slow and we don't have overtime until spring, it gives me a chance to make a little extra cash to supplement my pay. To buy more projects and more tools. I think I'm going to start doing a lot more how-to videos. I'm going to go away from the project videos and start doing how-to videos, because I was looking at my stuff and it looks like my how-to videos are doing pretty good versus my project videos. So I think I'm going to start doing some how-to videos. Hi, Adam.
Hello.
You spent a many a week just sitting there staring at your phone waiting for a live stream, huh?
I know. They were very cold and lonely Saturdays.
I worked 3 Saturdays in a row. This is my first Saturday off in 3 weeks.
I saw that video on those flush cuts you got. Those look really handy.
They are just the way that they're designed. You can just use them for many different things, and they're cheap too.
Who makes them?
I don't know, some Asian company.
Oh.
So it is a no-name brand, pretty much company, but they're pretty good. I find all kinds of uses for them. I even use them a lot for, like I said in the video, to disconnect fuel lines off the filters and off carburetors because I can pry them. I got the special spreader pliers to do that, but they're not thin enough to get down in there good.
Yeah, I have a set of those too, and I've found that problem with them.
Yeah. And I have a feeling if you grind them flatter that they just break easy.
And sometimes the fork's too big to fit like in a tucked in spot too.
Yeah. You know what I wonder? If taking and tapering the inside of that, so when you push it down, it would force it down some into the...
Yeah, that'd probably work.
See, tool companies just need to hire me to redesign their tools. I've been slowing down buying tools. I bought that tool like months ago. This is the only tool I bought in the last little bit, and for some reason, oil filter pliers. I couldn't find mine, and some of those mowers I use the band ones most of the time, but there's some that where the filter is located, I can't get the band down there to loosen the oil filter.
I prefer that style anyway.
Yeah.
Even over I have a whole bunch of those ones that fit over the end and you use a ratchet on them.
Oh, yeah.
I still usually grab those pliers before I grab anything else.
See, I have some that tightens up. As you spin them, it tightens up. You put it on the ratchet. But some of the smaller filters...
The 3-finger thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, some of the smaller filters, it don't grab good on them. Yeah, it's been a little while since I'm trying to get back at wanting to do this stuff again. I don't know. It's just, I go out to the shop to shoot a video, and then I just don't feel like it. I'll get in the middle of the video and I'm like, nah, I don't want to do this. And I had a video started where I was working on my boss. My boss got a little Suzuki 50cc 4-wheeler for his grandson, and I was fixing it up, and I was starting to make a video on it, but I was starting to run out of time. I only had like a week to get this 4-wheeler that's set for 12, 13 years back to running for a birthday party.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was running short on time.
Slow stuff up.
Yeah.
I've only put out maybe a video a week for the last 3-4 weeks. I've been sick. I've been like on my back in bed sick. So I'm quite behind now. But I'm back in the shop as of a couple days ago. So
luckily, I haven't. Usually, I'll get sick this time of year. Luckily, knock on wood, I haven't got sick yet this time of year. And Texas has been having weird weather. We would go from 80-degree days, then it would drop down to freezing, and then back in the 80s.
Oh.
Some crazy weather.
And our daytime now is in the 40s pretty consistently. It's just getting to freezing every night now.
See, we're not. It's just going back and forth. We already had our first freeze up in this part of Texas already, and kind of early, really. But they say that we could see rumors are, they say this every year, that this year we could see a really bad winter down here. And it's crazy because if you look at the forecast, the last few winters, it's not been hitting Northeast as bad. But down here in the South, it's starting to get colder and worse weather. You got the guys up in the Northeast that's praying for snow just so they could fix snow blowers.
Yeah.
And then down here, we get random snow.
Yeah, I've got a couple calls from guys I do snowplow work for, and but it hasn't been anywhere near that yet.
We're fine. We're caught up. I got lucky, and we got a whole lineup of repairs in the shop. So I can drag that out some of next week. Usually I can knock out a line of mowers a day. But since it's been slowing down, I've been trying to drag out a line a day or two just to have work and not just sit there and do nothing. Yeah. But I'm still doing a lot of part orders.
Does that place you work at do a lot of mower repair shops around here do it, that winter storage thing?
Oh, we just don't have the room.
Oh.
Our warehouse is stocked up with like new mowers and new weed eaters and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They did train me on the forklift, which I was obviously driving skid steers and all kinds of stuff. I was just a natural at it anyway. So they show me 5 minutes, and I was already moving mowers around and flawlessly around the shop like it was nothing.
Did they get you certified there?
No, they really don't do that, but I'm just glad to be allowed to use the forklift now because I got tired of waiting around on everybody else to move dead mowers for me.
Yeah.
I'm a very impatient person. I like to get stuff done. That's why I work so fast. Like my productive work, I literally work myself out of work because I just can't slow down. If I get in a pace of something, I just can't slow down. I keep a fast paced. And it's bad this time of year to do that.
Yeah.
But they promised me 40 hours either way, even if we don't have repairs. I just would hate to sit there 40 hours a week and do nothing.
Yes, Mike, I shovel plenty of snow up here.
Bocce.
I've been working on a lot up here as people have been getting those Toro power broom things for doing sidewalks.
Oh, yeah. We see a lot of those.
So I replaced a lot of those. Those brushes really don't seem to have that long of a service life.
No. They see a lot of those. So me and another tech, we do riders and zero turns only. But we have a tech that does only small, like walk behind stuff, generators and stuff like that. And then we have We have 3 2-stroke techs. I don't know why we have 3 2-stroke techs, but we do. And we mostly do. I mostly only do riders.
All right, Tim.
What's up, Tim? We had have a freeze bocce here. It got down to just that freezing temperatures.
They're saying up here we're supposed to have a warmer but more snow winter. So we'll see. We had a lot of freezing rain last year.
See, I don't know what's worse, freezing rain or snow.
Freezing
rain. It's bad here in Texas. When it freezes, it rains, and I think that causes more wrecks than anything.
Oh, yeah, it gets bad here because it's always windy in this area, so it always flashes over.
Yep.
Hey, Dancing.
What's up, Dancing? It's just so weird. Like, north is getting warmer and the south is getting colder. Soon we'll be. You got people in, like, I know a guy, Bruce. He goes from Canada to Mexico every year in the wintertime. They have a condo there or whatever, a timeshare condo. I don't know, something down there. Soon, people's going to be going from Texas to Canada to get out of the cold. It keeps this up. It's weird. Bocce, I finally live in a part of Texas where people are smart enough when the weather's bad, most people stays in. In Killeen, every time the weather would get bad, and Ronald can tell you this, anytime the weather gets bad in Killeen, more people seems to want to get out on the road. Here, if the weather's going to be bad, it's hardly anybody out on the roads.
Yeah. Do you still do some work for the Good Land guy?
Every now and then. It's been a couple months since I've been out to his place. We got that Can-Am back together, and the transmission he rebuilt didn't do too good. So he got it back. I got it all back together, and I put because I did the engine removal and the put back the engine back on, and once we got it back on and all the fluids back in there, it drove, but it was making all kinds of clacking noise.
Oh,
so something was not good there. And that's another thing about this area. Longview, if you go, I don't live in Longview. I live outside of Longview in a small town. If you go to Longview, as big as that town is, it's after 11 o'clock, the town's dead. Everything shuts down. We don't have 24-hour McDonald's here. Everything shuts down. The whole town's dead. Nothing stays open 24 hours in Longview. Which I kind of miss because, every now and then you want, when you do want fast food, it's in the middle of the night. So there is a sad part of that because every now and then a burger at midnight sometimes just hit the spot.
Yeah.
Man, Bocce, that's why I avoid Buc-ee's like the plague. Buc-ee's has some cool stuff in it, but it's a tourist trap. All those Buc-ee's are tourist traps. it's impossible. Like, don't get me wrong, the food is actually pretty decent in there. The fountain drinks are cheap. The bathrooms are clean. They're not lying. They got clean bathrooms. But it's a tourist trap. It's extremely a tourist trap.
Aren't they just a fancy gas station?
Yeah, it's big gas stations that has all those pumps and stuff. Everybody goes crazy about.
Yeah, we don't have those around here.
They're starting to come all over the United States. It used to be only a Texas thing. I think they're in Florida now. Ain't there one? I think there's one in like Tennessee or Kentucky, or in the Tennessee-Kentucky border now. They're just building them everywhere now. All right, I'll be right back. I gotta grab me something to drink too.
Hi, Raging. How's it going?
What's up, Raging? Look at this, Mike Hodge. I found a place in Texas that has my soda. This is a Kentucky soda. Atwoods. If Ken ever comes to Texas, I want to introduce him to Atwoods. That place is pretty. It's like a mixture of Tractor Supply, Lowe's, and everything all in one. It's pretty awesome. I like Atwoods. That's where I bought these. I paid $20-some. And I think the set I was looking at on the tool truck was going to be almost $60 a set. So I'm okay paying half price.
We just got our first Tractor Supply in the area about a year ago.
Really?
And it's about 60 miles from where I am. They keep building Harbor Freights, though. We have 4 Harbor Freights now.
Yeah, they're taking over the world. They're building as many Harbor Freights as they're building dollar stores. Hey, Ronald, are you still in the chat, Ronald? I hear y'all got it. After I left there, they built a Northern Tools in Killeen. I waited many years for Northern Tools, and they didn't build one until after. But there's one like half an hour away if I wanted to go.
Is Northern Tool like Tractor Supply?
Northern Tools kind of is. They got a lot of stuff. What's up, Hester?
Hester?
They got a lot of, so they got their brand stuff, and then they got a lot of name brand tools too. And I hear some of their brand name tools at Northern Tools ain't that bad. I think it's Clutch or something. I've heard some good things about some of their name brand tools. I was talking to the Matco dealer the other day about the new Milwaukee Insider, which is one of those inside or through ratchets, but it's electric one.
Yeah.
He said they're cool, but his only problem with them is they designed them where you can pretty much only use the Milwaukee sockets. The size they made the sockets, or the size they made it, you can pretty much only use the Milwaukee socket. So you can't use any other brands of through sockets on it. He said that's the worst part about it.
Yeah, that's kind of poopy.
Yeah. So you can guarantee the sockets for it's probably gonna be expensive, since you can only buy their sockets for it. But I thought it'd be cool because I could see use for them at work. Because I'm not gonna lie, to keep production up, I'm using power tools left and right. I hardly ever reach for a hand tool. If I can use a power tool, I use a power tool.
Yeah.
Just to keep up the pace.
Do you use many air tools at work?
My air hammer. I use an air hammer, and I use my die grinder and my air belt sander quite a bit. Now, every now and then we have a boat that's really, really hard to get off of decks. Some of those skags, sometimes I'll have a boat on the spindle and they're just so tight on there because someone overtied and they've never been taken off. The shop actually has a 1-inch impact gun just for if we ever have to break those loose. It's rare, but sometimes we do have to pull it out to break boats loose.
And on that, we have a lot of skags here. I work on a lot of turf tigers, and on the taper lock pulleys,
Yeah,
I've broken many a bolt using those taper lock pulleys.
I did it my first week there. I was doing a blade swap on one. I had to change the pulley out. Oh no, I was changing how to hose spindle, and I put the bolts in the side you use to pull that taper thing piece off.
Yep.
And I guess I got a little too happy with the ratchet and snapped the boat off and slide that.
Yeah, when they're old and like rusty, you I always put heat to them, or else they always shear the bolt.
Yeah.
And once they shear the bolt, it becomes a pain in the butt.
You know what scares me is when someone wants to buy a new deck shell for a mower and use their own spindles. Because there's always you never know if you're going to break a boat off in those spindles when you take out off a boat.
Yeah.
It's a miracle when I've got them off without shearing boats, and it's very rare.
Hey, Pat.
What's up, Pat? But I about mastered getting boats out of aluminum blocks now. And it's a lot easier with a welder that has gas instead of just doing it with flux core.
Yep.
And what I do is I guess some people calls it a pumpkin. I'll build up a bead up so far up on top of it. Then I'll set a nut on it, and then I'll weld the nut to that pumpkin, let it cool off, and then just slowly work it back and forth and turn it out some, turn it back in a little bit, turn it out some until it comes out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always the best way before using, removers and stuff.
Yeah, if it don't come out that way, then the shop pretty much tells them they need a whole engine block, a new engine. But I try to save it. I try to save them, but the dealership won't. If it comes down to the boat's not coming out, which I haven't yet actually had a boat not come out since I've been there. They pretty much write it off that the customer needs an engine. Because they say it ain't worth the shop time. The shop time adds up too quick, and they would be up there about the price of an engine by the time it would be said and done. So, In certain cases, they'll drill out and put helicoils, depending on what's broken. Sometimes they'll drill the boats out and put helicoils, but certain things they won't helicoil on an engine block.
Yeah, especially where, I mean, I put in a lot of helicoils and a lot of those time certs.
Yeah.
I think helicoils are just as good as time certs. Time certs are just crazy expensive.
Yeah.
But like for a head, I'll use a time cert. I don't know what it is about Honda motors and the head bolts. It always seems like on every engine, one of them strips out when you're torquing
Yeah.
them down. And most of the time, you send them and they're totally fine. They last years and years. But that's when I've been taking them out and putting time certs in is on head bolts.
Yeah. I had one. I haven't seen this on many overhead valve engines, but I had one with a warped head the other day. Someone, he took and had the engine rebuilt somewhere else, and someone ran the bolts on for the head with the impact.
Mm.
And you could hear it go, psh, 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 psh. And it's obviously it was a head gasket, but I went ahead and did a leak down test anyway, and it was down like 70% leakage, and you could feel it coming out the bottom of the head. And when I took it out, laid it on a flat surface, and and took my filler gauges, you could just tell it was just the surface was ruined. So the guy had to have a new cylinder head, and since the boats was over torqued, had to put new boats on there.
I ran across that where they've tried to fix it by putting two gaskets in it.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of copper anti-seize between the gaskets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see this a lot, but I've spent a lot of time resealing valve covers on the Kohler engines.
The ones that have that kind of triangle shaped
Yeah.
head on, yeah. I use that. I don't even use the gaskets anymore. I use that gray, the right stuff.
Oh, I use right stuff too. When I first went to work there, they was giving me this one RTV, and that stuff just wouldn't seal right. I told them to order me some right stuff, and I that's what I've always used to seal those up. It just does the best job, and you don't have to wait as long for it to cure. It cures faster.
Yeah, on those I know they redid the gasket a couple years ago, but I just put right stuff on it, call it good. I've actually found the problem with some of those is the valve cover seems to be made of slightly thinner metal than they used to be. And if they get hot, they'll actually warp a little bit.
Yep.
And that's where using stuff like the right stuff will compensate for that.
We'll see what they did on the Kohler, the 7000 series, when they updated the valve cover. They went away from the thin metal ones that was warping, which didn't have gaskets anyway. You could only seal those. Didn't have gaskets on the ones on the 7000 series, which was the twin cylinder ones. They went to a cast one that had an O-ring. O-ring style gasket. So it wasn't that thin stuff, which was smart.
Yeah. I have a couple Honda rebuilds to do. I'll try to do a video on them. The thing is, it's going to be like a 6-part video, and I don't know how many people are going to watch that.
Yeah. But you might be surprised. I did a 3-part video doing lifters on doing the whole valve train on a Kohler Command. And that's my biggest video series. Like, those videos are, they're like 20K views. which is a lot for me. I know it's not a lot for others, but that's my most popular videos. It was bad designs, but that's why I think when they changed the design of Second Chance. Welcome anyway. I forgot to say welcome. And I think when they changed the design up, when they went to the cast design, that was a little bit better. That was a step in the right direction. Another problem with Kohler's and Kohler brain. So this is what Kohler blames it on. The Kohler KT series the 7000 series are bad for starters. We replace a lot of starters. Kohler blames it on people using too low of cold cranking amp batteries on the mower, on the engine. So that's what they're blaming on. But it's just a very bad design for Kohler. We replace a lot of starters. That's like I probably change a few a week.
Just bad Bindexes, or are the windings burned out?
They burned the windings out, but then I had one last week that actually sheared the Bindex out, the whole shaft off. I've never seen that one before.
No, I got about 10 hydraulic cylinders to rebuild. I'm going to do some videos on those. I think those will be interesting for some people.
I got a Dixon. I think I could do a lot of how-to videos on it, doing different things on it. I think I want to rebuild that engine in that golf cart this winter, because the kit for it's cheap. That golf cart engine rebuild kit's cheap for that golf cart.
Is it a hydraulic Dixon or the friction bell?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Is it a hydraulic Dixon or is it one with the friction bell?
No, it was one of the newer hydraulic ones. It was made by I think Husqvarna made it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because
I don't want to put a whole lot of
friction bells is a nightmare.
Oh yeah. Oh, and they steer terrible.
Yes, they do.
I still don't want to put a whole lot of money into this Dixon, because even though it's a hydraulic one, just their name was ruined by the friction drive ones.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be pushing it to get $1,000 for this zero turn. So I don't want to go put like almost $1,000 into it. Like, the deck is in pretty bad shape, to the point that it should. At this point that if it was in a shop, we would replace the shell, we wouldn't fix it. But by the time I paid $600 for a shell and stuff like that, that mower, it outvalued that mower. The engine's good. It runs. It drives.
I used to do a lot of work on the belt-driven blowers for the Dixons.
Yeah.
I actually modified the belt tensioner with a couple rubber washers in it, because they always seem to burn through blower belts pretty quick.
Yeah.
Especially they made the ones that had the plastic outer housing on the blower. You would eat through it about a season.
You know what? I've had to help a few times. They're rebuilding. We've been rebuilding the power vacs that hooks to some of the decks of zero turns. And those are kind of a pain to take apart, because the bolts are all rusted and stuff.
I've done a lot of Skag belt-driven blowers.
Yeah.
The thing with those is, they have the 4 fins, and you take the side plate off. They have that square opening.
Yeah.
If the blades are bent at all, even the slightest bit, they will not fit through that opening anymore.
Nope.
So you have to heat them with a torch and beat them with a punch to try to get them to fit through that perfect square hole on the side. And I don't know if it's. I've been putting bearings in them that aren't Skag bearings. I get them from a separate source. I've had better luck with the life on them.
Yeah, I think some of the Skag stuff is starting to go down in quality. I think Skag is still a good brand, but just like everything else,
Yeah, the V-Rides are awesome.
Yeah, the quality, like if you go into the residential stuff, like the Liberties and Patriots and stuff, they really start going down in quality. But they are starting to go down in quality some. What's up, Roy? Roy's been making Christmas tree ornaments. I've been seeing that.
I haven't seen many up close. They're bigger push mowers with the casters on them.
We see those the walk behind tech. Yeah, it's been a while. The walk behind tech, when they first came out with that one design of their little walk behind push mower thing. When they first came out with it, they did some kind of design for the clutching system on the blades, and they ended up having to warranty out a bunch of them. They had a kit to fix it.
Kind of like when those Toro time savers came out with that kit to put the metal pulleys on them instead of the plastic ones.
Yeah.
Those are the biggest pieces of garbage ever.
I tell you, so I like my Toro zero turn, but the thing is, I don't like Toro did is the electric brake module, and they're known to go out. I replaced quite a few of them. If it goes out, then you can't start it. You have to replace it, and each time that goes out, it's like $120 part. But luckily, most of the time they go out within warranty time, so most of them are just warrantied out. But Toro has some commercial units. Some of their newer commercial units are actually pretty nice.
Yeah, a couple of my customers run the big Laser Z's.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because we really only have Toro and Skag here. There is a Bad Boy mower dealership, but I never see their mowers.
Oh, you're lucky. You're lucky. Because why should a unit have 5 relays? Why do you need 5 relays on a mower?
Well, that's kind of how some of the Ferrises are.
Oh, yeah. Our commercial tech, I help him from time to time on those Ferrises. He hates those Ferrises with a passion.
I got one customer that has 2 of the big with the big diesels in them.
Yeah.
And there's always electrical problems with it.
Have you ever had to do the wheel motors on those? The big diesel ones?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, man. It's a pain. Because, on the Ferrises, you got you got the suspension on some of them. And that suspension, no matter how you do it, is just right in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pain. Roy said, here's the real question. Why is it so hard to make a mower that just mows grass? Or mows grass, just grass? I don't know. It's a good question.
And the Ferrises, they have that double V-belt on the back for the remotes. They seem to burn through those a lot.
And they're expensive. Anytime
and you have to replace both of them. You can't just replace the one.
Yeah.
They do ride nice, though.
This is what I like about Skag. I think more companies should do this. You know how sometimes when you take a PTO clutch off, the dry pulley will end up sliding down on you too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they actually on Skags, they actually put set screws in there so you don't slide down on you. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I like how Skag, for the most part, has kept it simple. When they put the water-cooled Kawasaki's in, I know they had problems with the connectors on them.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the frame and everything is just nice, thick steel. And
it still amazes me because they're nice and they're thick steel, but it still amazes me how people actually still commercial people still actually break those decks.
Yeah.
And they're like, to me, I think they're the best quality of decks out there. They're heavy. They're extremely heavy.
Oh, yeah, they are.
We have to use a forklift just to move the decks around to put them under the mowers. It's a process just to move the decks around. I tell you what I don't like, though. I think it's the biggest pain to work on in service because there is no room. And this is the reason actually I bought these, is the Cub Cadet Zero Turns with the steering wheel.
Oh, yeah.
There is no room. Your oil filter is like right here. That's why I had to buy these. What's up, Cass?
Yeah. I love the Cub Cadet tanks because they're so bare bones. I mean, they're you can get to everything like the M45s and all that stuff. But yeah, once they went to that stuff, I mean, it's bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with those older ZTRs, the tank series. Those are awesome mowers.
Yeah. Yeah, second chance. I left. I still do a little bit of work on like 4-wheelers and stuff at home, but I work full time at a shop now. I stopped working for myself.
The thing I hate working on most, and I have a couple customers that are still keeping them alive for some reason, are those Toro and Exmark Navigators that have the box in the back.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Those are a pain. Those are extremely pain.
For some of the belt changes, you have to pull the motor.
Yeah. The commercial tech told my boss, he said, we ain't taking no more of these in. It's starting to also, some of the parts for those are getting harder to get now too.
Yeah, because they had a lot of proprietary parts just for those mowers.
Yeah.
And they are a pain. I mean, you have to pull the seat off and the box off and pull the motor out to change some of the seals and belts in it.
He couldn't get the dipstick out. The dipstick broke out, and he thought he was going to have to pull the whole engine and remove the tube to get the dipstick out. So I came up with this idea to take a screw and put down in there screw it down into that dipstick the broken piece, and took my little slide hammer and just popped it right out. He was starting to worry because he would have had to pull that whole engine out of there just to do that.
Yeah, because like replace the coils and stuff, you have to pull the motor.
Yep. Everything on that, you pretty much have to pull the motor on.
Yeah, since everything's powered from the top of the flywheel.
It's crazy.
Kind of like the walkers are a little better, but...
Hey, Cass, let me tell you what we're having from where I'm having now. I don't know if you remember my brother-in-law's Ford Explorer we talk about, or my sister's Ford Explorer. One of the Ford Explorers. I guess it's both of theirs. So it was making a ticking noise, and I thought maybe, if my college here, he remembers. I thought maybe in the valves or maybe an ejector, because it sounded like it was coming from the top end. And then a couple weeks ago, it shut down on him, low oil pressure. So I don't know if that ticking noise was that oil pump going bad. If that's what that ticking noise was, or maybe it was. I don't know. It's got like 250,000 miles on it. And then his truck, I think it might be the brake booster. Because when you hit the gas or when you hit the brakes, it starts it's idling rough like it's the like a vacuum leak. So I think he has a brake booster. He's just having bad luck with vehicles. What's up, Mid Atlantic Tools? Tell you what, Second Chance, I kind of miss working full time for myself. But what I don't miss is crazy thing is, Cass, I changed that oil sensor out about a year ago because it was leaking. Those 3.5s had that problem with those. It was leaking oil out and shorting that out it was causing an oil pressure light too. I'm wondering if that sensor went out again. The tick, you're right, I don't know about, but I haven't put a mechanical pump on there and seen if a pressure gauge on there and see if they. He's kind of concerned though at 250,000 miles on a 3.5. So anyway, back to my story. I kind of miss working for myself, but also, in a way, I don't miss worrying about having a steady paycheck because now I have a steady paycheck. I might eventually go back working for myself in the future, but for now, I got a steady pay and that's pretty nice not to have to worry about that.
Yes, that is.
Even though most of it I don't see after I pay bills.
Thankfully, this first year out on my own, I saved a lot of money. So,
yeah. Well, at least where I'm working now, I actually got something I never had before in my life, and that's a retirement plan. I'm actually paying in.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm paying in for a retirement plan. I do still eventually believe in going out 10 years or so down the future, back and doing my own thing. Maybe at that time I can build up. I'm new to this area. I don't know a lot of people, so it's hard to build up a name for myself. But surprisingly enough, when they have someone call, because we just do mowers and stuff like that at that shop. If they have someone call with a 4-wheeler or something, they'll come and get me, and they'll send someone with a 4-wheeler to my home shop.
That's
so
cool.
they're actually bringing power sports work into my own shop, which is pretty awesome. You can't beat work. They're the best people to work for.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, second chance. It's a problem everywhere, and there's people out there trying to do small engine repair on Facebook. $25 an hour. And when you're
Yeah,
doing
same.
it as a business, $25 an hour, that's stupid.
Yeah, same here. They post on Facebook and Craigslist all the time.
Of course, the people that usually charge that cheap are usually uh usually uh
Oh
usually
yeah,
don't do the best quality work either.
yeah. Some of them you can tell because here they'll put, "If I can't fix it, you don't pay anything,"
Yeah.
because they don't have enough knowledge themselves to know that they can fix something beforehand on a push mower.
Yeah. And see, that's something I do. That's another thing I have freedom at that job. If a mower comes in that's just a real piece of junk, I can say, no, we're not working on it. And they say, okay, we deny the repair. Because there is mowers that just not worth the shop time.
Hey, Mutzer.
Hi, Mustard. If you got a junky, like, I accidentally did this mistake on one that I should have turned down. You got a Cub Cadet that's probably only worth $200 to $300 because they'll wore out, and you have to put $1,000 worth of work into it. It's just not worth it.
No.
You gotta know when to turn away those mowers that ain't worth it. Yeah. There we go.
Yep.
I always try to find out the right and not throw a bunch of parts into it.
Yeah. And I don't get a lot of. I just have my commercial customers still, but when they bring in stuff that I think is too wore out to fix, but they want to put money in, I make them pay beforehand.
Yeah, surprisingly, we had a zero turn with it's a commercial guy, a guy that's been going to that shop for years. 2,000. It's a older snapper with 2,000 hours on it. The mower is like 15 years old, and the guy actually paid. He actually paid for it for a wool motor and a hydraulic pump.
When it comes to wheel motors and hydraulic pumps, if one of them blew, like, actually went bad, I mandatory replace all the hoses, clean the tank, replace the
Yeah,
filter, and then if they don't replace all the motors and pumps, I don't warranty it at all.
yeah,
So it gets crazy expensive.
yep, yep. Even just doing one side for him because he just wanted one. He just needed that one side done because he didn't want to do. He was still out, I think, $2,500, maybe more,
Yeah.
for a mower that ain't even worth it. But his motor will probably go next.
Yeah, because like if a wheel motor goes, or the wheel pump goes, it sends everything into the motor.
Yep.
And if the filter, depending where the filter is placed, that's the problem with old Skags. You don't know if anything got into the other motors and stuff.
Yep.
Well,
I'm not a fan of hydraulic work when it comes to that much. The engine work I'm pretty good at. I'm not as much a fan of the hydraulic work.
yeah, and that's the thing is, to warranty your stuff, you just have to replace everything, unfortunately.
Especially in a environment where you're an actual shop.
Yeah.
You have no choice. Like, there's things in the past that I would have repaired that in working in a dealership setting that we end up replacing because of the, the liability is of if it's going to hold up in the future.
Yeah. I'll replace the hydraulic stuff they want me to, but I always tell them under no circumstances is any of this warranted.
Yep. I tell you one thing we've been doing, and I've never did it this much before, is carburetors. Some of the carb kits are not too much cheaper than a new carburetor. So we look at the price of a carb rebuild kit first.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
getting that way, yeah.
Yeah, and a price of a new carburetor. If it's close in price, we just go ahead and put a new carburetor on there.
Yeah.
Because there's some carburetors that's only $120 and the kit be almost $90.
Yeah. And especially if you're charging them, a minimum charge for it.
Yeah.
It's safer just to give them a new carburetor.
Yep. But there's still got carbs out there that's like $400 or $500. Those are the ones that usually get rebuilt.
Yeah, like the big like the ones on the Vanguards and stuff.
Yeah. Which I'm not a fan of some of those Vanguards. The newer Vanguards. I love the old Vanguards.
Yep.
Some of the new Vanguards. And waiting to change oil. Those are the slowest draining engines. They take forever. It feels like you wait all day long for it to drain oil. Because the way their dipstick's made, like some engines, we just use the suction setup and suck the oil out because it's cleaner that way.
Oh, yeah, one of those pump things? Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, I still make a little bit of a mess with the oil filter. Because some of there, you don't have a room to get something under the oil filter to get it out on some zero turns.
That's the bad thing about where the oil filter is on some of the V-rides and stuff.
Yep.
Is you pull it off and it pours right down under the deck.
Yep. But that's also another reason we have a rule that, and we have a crew that does it. Every mower that's finished at that shop gets pressure washed.
Yeah.
They don't send no mower out that ain't been pressure washed.
I use one of those, and I really like it. Those flex funnel things.
Oh yeah.
They're kind of U-shaped. And then what I do on those is I jack up one side of it, so to try to catch as much as I can.
Yeah. It's just some of those zero turns, you just don't have enough room to even use stuff like that. It's just you just pretty much make a mess.
Yep.
Use a lot of brake cleaner to clean up. Get the 55-gallon jugs of the 55-gallon drums of the brake cleaner. We use a lot of brake cleaner.
Yep. I think I get it in 5 gallons. I got one of those sprayers you can put compressed air into.
Yep, that's what we use at work.
Yeah, the Sure Shots or whatever.
Well, before they finally give me my own can at work, I went the longest time without my own spray can. I was using a lot of B12, and B12 is expensive. I think why they finally give me a can to use because B12 is expensive.
Yep, that's right, Mid-Atlantic, the Forma funnels. I have in a couple different sizes. I really like those.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say they're pretty good.
I also have a lot I've custom made out of 2-inch PVC pipe and just cut away the top of it.
We have some at work that we took quarts of oil and cut the top out of them and made little catch pans.
Yeah,
which is okay for regular riders. Regular riders, you usually have more room to do that with. It's just zero turns you don't. I got a Skag on my bench now at work, and this thing only has 20 hours on it. I was finishing. I just got finished rebuilding the carburetor before I left Friday. 20 hours, and the guy let it set with gas for months on end, and the gas was dark yellow, and that carburetor was just shot. So I had to rebuild the carburetor. What's that?
What motor did it have on it?
The Kawasaki, the FR691.
Mm.
And it was one of the residential Skags, and the back part of the Skag is not removable. It's actually welded to the machine. So to get the carburetor off, usually the FR691s are easy to pull a carburetor off. But to get that carburetor off, I had to pull the intake manifold bolts and pull the whole intake manifold off the unit to do it. And usually the 691s is actually a very simple engine to change, pull a carburetor off. Extremely simple. You got like 4 bolts that holds it, and you're done.
When you guys do the hydraulic filters on the V-Rides, do you go through the huge, long air purging sequence on them, or you just run them on stands?
Yeah, everything gets purged. You put it in, you release it, and you just sit there for, feels like you feel forever going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I hate that part. I hate it. I feel like you're sitting there for an hour sometimes just going back and forth.
Yeah, and then they always sound super awful when they first start working.
Yeah.
And you think something's wrong with them. Some of my customers have the Toro grandstands. They actually make hydraulic snowplow attachments for them now.
Really?
Yeah, I got a guy who has 2 of them now.
We got a grandstand at work because we're a Skag dealer, but we're also a Toro dealer and a Cub Cadet dealer. We got a grandstand, but I have yet to see them actually sell one. We sell a lot of the V-Rides.
You see any of those big Cub Cadets that have the 4 wheels in the back?
No, I have not. I think the biggest one I worked on is a Pro Z 0-turn.
I got one customer that he just does easements for a big power line place, and he has one of those it's a Cub Cadet grandstand that has 4 tires in the back. And it has like a 60-inch deck on it.
Oh, wow. I think my favorite out of the biggest mowers we have would be the Cheetah 2. That mower is just extremely fast.
Do you guys deal much with the propane ones? The propane Skags?
I haven't seen one since I've been to work there. Don't mean that they don't take them in. They don't do much diesel work, which I talked to the boss about this, and he said okay. He said he agreed with me. They turned one down, the office people, because it's a diesel, but it was just a service. I was like, I can do a service on a diesel engine all day. In fact, I can do a little bit more work than just a service on a diesel engine. But a service I definitely can do.
Yeah, right.
Y'all turned down a lot of money turning down a service on a diesel engine.
Yeah, especially like on the Ferrises, because there's like 3 filters you change, and there's quite a bit of money in that.
Well, the one they turned down was a bad boy mower with a Caterpillar 3-cylinder Caterpillar engine on it.
I think that's the same cylinder. I think that's the same motor they put in the Ferrises, and it's actually made by
Tyrell.
I can't remember it now, because the Ferrises have a 3-cylinder Cat engine in them.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's made by Perkins.
It might be.
But Perkins, I know you have to look for a separate place to get cheap parts. Yeah. But yeah, you get the diesel, the water separator, and the 2 different filters. There's a lot of money in that.
Yeah. I guess they didn't know how to purge. I guess they was worried about like doing the fuel filter and purging the air. but there's a trick that I learned a long time ago when I was helping out at a diesel shop, how to purge that. And it's very simple. Most of the time, what I do is I just take the straighter valve out of my test port or my test hose, and I stick it down in a bottle and just stick it on the bottle, the end of that port, and just let it prime it through the system, and it'll shoot the gas out the test port, and it helps kind of purge that system.
Yeah.
In rare cases, you shouldn't have to change in the filter, but in rare cases, if there's air in the actual lines, you just crack the lines.
Yeah.
It's not that difficult.
No.
It sounds more it sounds more intimidating than it is. It's actually working on those little diesel engines is actually quite simple.
Yeah.
I wonder where the heck Ken is tonight. I'm going to see if he left the mark. Let's see. Wait a minute.
I saw he put up a short today. I think it was today or yesterday.
It's rare. See, I waited. I was going to go live last weekend, but he was in the woods. I waited, and I went live this week. Because last week should have been my actual live stream, because I'm supposed to be doing these every 2 weeks. And I waited a week. Now I just got to give him hell about it. I'm going to give him hell all week about it. How dare you? This is unacceptable. Don't you think I want to be sitting over there watching TV? Actually, that's been quite a reason I've been missing live streams, because I've been lazy here lately. If I'm not working, I just want to sit down and watch TV and do nothing.
I've had V4 contacting me the last couple weeks. They wanted me to do an ultrasonic cleaner, and I already have one. And then they wanted me to do the drill they send everyone, the mag drill.
Yeah.
But they're like, do you have anything else interested? So I keep sending them more expensive machinist stuff, like a dividing head. And every time they send me that, I go, well, I'll do this. That's dividing head. And I don't know if they keep denying it or I'm talking to someone else.
So I the last email I got for something like that was for a company with a robot mower. I couldn't keep the mower. There was no compensation. So I found no reason to do the video for them.
Yeah.
My viewers ain't going to go out and buy a $5,000 robot mower.
No. No,
I wouldn't either.
Locking extension cord company send me something, or say they want to send me something, but I asked for the bigger cord, and they haven't responded yet. So.
I think my last actual something I actually got was was from that Vire or whatever. They sent me that bead breaker, which worked great until I let a coworker use it, and you're not supposed to use an impact on them. You used an impact, and it just ruined it. You're supposed to just use a ratchet. Like, oh well, I got it for free.
Yeah.
But it did work good. Like on some of the ones that, at the home shop, I do use my the hydraulic part of my tire changer. But it worked. The manual bead breaker on their manual tire changer. Sometimes you don't break a bead that easy with it. Sometimes for that though, we'll bring in the forklift. And we'll just set those forks and just with a real hard.
I got a thing last week from a company that sells scalp massagers. And it's just funny that we start out the same way. Oh, we love your channel and we think our product would fit well. You haven't watched a single video on my channel if you think that that's what I'm going to do a video on.
I mean, one time they sent me, I got an email, and it was kind of the same thing. They said the same thing. And it was makeup brushes. What am I going to do with makeup brushes?
Yeah. I got one for a clog clearing thing for your shower.
Now, I used to do the ones where all the flashlights, when people, because you never can have too many flashlights. You never can have too many flashlights.
Yeah, I think it's an O-Light one a while ago.
Oh, wow. Hey, you made it then, because they don't send those just to anybody.
I do like that. It has the weird magnetic, it has its own special charger.
Yeah.
Through the magnet in the bottom. I do like that light.
Shell said we kicked off peak at work. You know what that means? Shipping prices. I'm amazed I didn't got the email, because usually this time of year they send an email saying shipping prices is up. I think they go up like 13% or 20%. I can't remember each year, and then they'll drop them back down in like a couple months. Oh, I thought O-Light got there for a little while. Didn't send you. They had a certain requirement.
Pat, now I feel less special. I was going to do a video on the stuff I got sent for free. Just all the things.
Yeah. I got a box of those light bulbs that you roll. That's got like the LEDs. That's got like the blades.
Oh yeah.
I got a bunch of those. I used them in the shop up there, in Killeen, or in the barn in Killeen for a while. I had one of those Harbor Freight extension cord, with all the light things on it, and I just had it. Sometimes that's the best part of YouTube is sometimes getting some of the try some of those stupid things out, and people get so mad. Just chilling. You're shilling for a company. Yeah, like I don't care. Free stuff, man. If you know and I know it, if someone offered it to you, get it.
Yeah, like I had a company send me one of those. It's a
I know.
Pretty nice meter that has an amp clamp on it. And I haven't done they sent me that like 8 months ago, and I haven't done a video on it yet, and they haven't said anything. So that tells me how little they cared that they actually sent it out and someone did something.
I had a company send me headlight bulbs, and I forgot about it because it was for that Honda, and that Honda is just it's a project on the back burner. It's probably not going to stay around. So they after a couple months they finally started harassing me about it. So what I went out there did, I grabbed a battery from I went out there, I cut a headlight thing off the car, and I grabbed one of my batteries from one of my tools and just used it to show light. Hey, look, the light works. I think my favorite thing I got for free, and it wasn't a company that sent it to me. It was Cass and Lizzie's giveaway, was these Nippic pliers that Cass picked out for me. Those by far is my favorite, and I use those pliers every day. if those pliers go missing, I stop everything I'm doing and go search for those pliers. Like, I freak out if I don't see those pair of pliers. You know, I don't have the name brand vice grips. Oh, I'm sorry. Bocce. Yes, Bocce. This was my favorite thing ever. It sits right here, Bocce. On top of my little vices. But anyway, my vice grips is from an Atwood brand, Black Diamonds, and they've been pretty good for the price.
How's the 3D printing stuff been going lately?
It picks up, and I'll have like a week where I'll have like 10 or 12 orders, and then I'll have weeks where I have 1 or 2 orders. It comes in waves. But it's kind of slowing down, I guess, closer to holidays, and we're getting out of the mower season.
Yeah.
I'd say about February, people will be starting to get back in the mood for that stuff again. I do got 2 orders right here that guy gets sent out. I wanted to take it bigger. I wanted to sell other tools, but I got to talking to Nick, and he's right. It would put me in if I started keeping inventory, buying stuff and keeping it on inventory, it would put me in a whole different tax type deal than what I'm doing now. Right now, if I just keep just making tools and selling them, I'm better off than buying inventory, setting on it, and then having to pay extra taxes and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, I got to go and put away tools before it rains tonight. So I'm going to end up having to end this tonight. I'm going to try to start doing these streams more often again, and I got to get back on videos. Rain or not tomorrow, I'm going to shoot a video tomorrow. Y'all might have to ignore the audio of rain hitting the shop roof, because when it rains pretty violent, and it gets pretty loud in the shop. So I'm going to get off of here. It's been a good chat. I just need to go get some stuff done, and I'm going to go see if they got the Christmas tree up. They was putting the Christmas tree up. We usually wait until after Thanksgiving, but the kids ain't going to be here after Thanksgiving, so they're putting it up tonight. Anyway, guys, I'll see y'all next time around. Thanks, everybody, for coming. I'll see y'all next time in the shop or in my bedroom.